Yoko's Island Express. This is such a really neat game. So it's basically a hybrid of pinball mixed with platforming. I've been following this since E3 17, I believe it was, and I first got to try it out. It's really, really neat. I also played it on the Switch too. I believe it was at PAX. I played it there, and it's pretty cool. But right now we're on the 1X, and it is one lovely looking game. So the artwork is obviously just gorgeous. I mean, it looks fantastic. It's got a nice sort of sway to it. There's lots going on. Kinda reminds me of Ori and the Blind Forest, if I can, compare it to that. So yeah, you're basically a postage man. You're trying to drop off mail to different locations. This isn't too far into the actual core game. You start humbly by taking over the postage job on the island, and then you gotta kind of make your way up and deal with like creatures and do side quests and discover a lot of things. I'm at the point where it's very much just an open game. You do whatever you want to sort of solve the general problems you've been given. You get like general objectives, and then you just sort of explore the world to find them and finish them off, and kind of complete the missions. And then you also, you gotta deliver mail, because that is your job. And then you collect fruit. You can expand how much fruit you can hold, and then you use the fruit in order to unlock items like you just saw that I did there, and that helps you progress further. There's a lot of depth to it too. There's little tiny extra abilities you unlock as you go. I'll show you the noisemaker in a sec because it is awesome. You collect special collectibles like the wickerlings, and then there's like other stuff you can do too. But and that's sort of how you interact with the world, is the noisemaker. And you can talk to people with it and sort of unlock things with it. I'm just trying to think of where I was going last time. There shouldn't be anything too spoilerish. There's definitely a story going on here as you move around and do things. It's so fascinating that they were able to basically make a game that merges classic platforming elements with like pinball, and it's so seamless. There's a certain level of, it kind of auto plays in the sense that you're going around on pre-selected tracks, but there are the hardcore pinball elements too, where you're trying to hit certain objects, perform certain maneuvers. So we can't do this one because I don't have enough fruit, but you'd unlock the fruit, you'd go up there, you'd suck up a worm, and then you'd be able to blast this thing down and keep going. But I gotta collect more fruit to do that. And there's just so much depth to it too, and some like certain levels of verticality as well. And it's just a very fascinating sort of release. I think it's got like really lovely looking visuals and some really fun gameplay. Definitely something that I think all ages can enjoy too. There might be some difficulty levels to it, but ooh, I mean, I haven't found anything too difficult aside from like the certain pinball actions you're performing. So now we're down in this whole area, and it's all about, like, especially at the point I'm like, when you first start, it's a little bit more linear, as in terms of sending you to places you're supposed to go and kind of letting you know the direction you're supposed to head. But I'm at the point where it's just an open kind of trek. There's lots of different biomes and environments that you can visit. Definitely a lot of heart in this game. I really do love it. Chat with these guys, lots of different creatures. And then you have these missions that you're supposed to do, and as you meet new characters, you get new goals and new things that you're supposed to figure out as you progress. So I'm going to just keep going this way just to see what there is. And obviously, you can swim with your sort of pinball, you can get thrown around, you can get juggled in the air. You're constantly unlocking new abilities to help with your progression. And there's just a ton of little secrets hidden throughout. And again, the visuals, I think, are just gorgeous. They look great. You've only really seen like water-based areas, but there's deserts, there's snow. There we go, nice. There's all kinds of really neat things in this world. And you can like knock down objects too. There's a lot of physics-based sort of things going on. Well, it's one of these things. don't know, we'll have to find out. I love the noisemaker. Okay, I tried it with you already. Up we go. And I mean, it plays like pinball, as you're seeing kind of here. Some of it's auto, some of it's you gotta hit the right bumper to kind of push you along. There's little tiny mini game area kind of things that go on. They're not really mini games, but you get the sense of what I'm sort of looking at describing. Is there's like little separate set pinball areas where you do a quick little task and then you unlock a collectible by doing so. Return to the hidden pool. Ooh. Interesting. And I would consider this to be like one of those little side pinball areas. And again, the visuals I think are just lovely to look at. It's a very, very nice looking game. And it's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this one. I don't know, like when I first saw it I was like, oh, this is really, really neat as I walk right by the guy. Let's see. Oh. Now I've got the ability to dive. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is like something I haven't been able to do in any areas, so it's kind of like really nice to be able to do it finally. And a good example of the fact that you're always unlocking new abilities and new things to do. And of course, I mean, there's just like a ton of collectibles in this, like treasure chests and other hidden things that you collect more fruit and more of these guys. I think I have close good amount of those. And we're just gonna come back up. That's a cool mechanic. There's just so much depth to it. It seems like a very simple game, but it's so layered with things to do. And you can, of course, like, you know, go back to other sections once you get more things unlocked, and then you're able to do more with it. I don't have enough for the other thing. I think it was 80. We can actually just swim right down here. And yeah, it's a very simple game in your tasks, but yet there's like a lot to the story of this. Okay, let's get this down. And it's a very neat way to handle puzzles, and I don't really think that any game has done something quite like this before. Oh crap. Am I supposed to just grab this? Ooh. That's fancy. I think it's quite enjoyable. There's a lot of gameplay to it and a very expansive world, and then obviously for those that want to do the extra collectible hunting, that option is there. Oh yeah, this is much more complex of a kind of pinball setup right here. You're getting more of a look of it, and you never quite know what doing something will grant you. As you can see, I'm hitting the side things multiple times, but it's still giving me like new fruits that I can sort of discover, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's worthwhile just to play around with the I guess the paddles and the ball and just see what exactly you can hit to see what it unlocks. Oh crap, the thorn's never good. Because you never know when you're gonna hit like the right area and be like, oh wow, look at this cool little extra thing that I found here. So these purple things, they open a gate. Sometimes there's multiple amounts of them and you need them to kind of progress to certain areas. And, crap. So we're going to throw a couple of these slugs out because the slugs are what blow things up, as if you noticed that when I was mentioning it earlier. And you can suck them up. And when you get shot at the purple things, which I'm having a hard time doing, you know, they will explode things for you. I wanted that guy too. There we go. Cool. And then I need to go back up there. But I kind of want to go to the left-hand side too, because that has a rock I could blow up and then unlock another collectible. But I do want to progress as well. Anyways, that's Yoko's Island Express. There's a lot of heart here with a little bit of a charming quick story about a postmaster coming to work. And, you know, some danger too, but it's something that... Crap, I missed it. That I think any audience can really sort of enjoy and get into. And it is very much a charming little character here with some fun noise making.